My name's Daldry. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And the subject of this short video is AI. And you're all grown because everybody's talking about AI. But the thing I want to talk about is, if you're a creative working in advertising, how do you deal with AI in a practical way? Without saying, oh, AI is a terrible thing, or AI isn't going to do this, or it isn't going to do that, or isn't going to do the other. Let's forget all that. AI is here to stay. It does what it does, which is pretty well everything well. And the question I want to answer is, if you're a creative and you work in advertising, how do you find, keep, get work? So first of all, the first thing about AI I want to say is that technology isn't new. We've always had new technology. We've always had better and better technology. And I always think of when I first started working in advertising in Manchester in the late 80s and early 90s, what happened when Photoshop first appeared. Actually, what happened when computers first appeared. Now, I was a writer and I wasn't really supposed to be interested in typographers' Macs or art directors' Photoshop. But I was really interested. Now, when computers, Macs and Photoshop appeared in the agencies, my attitude was learn it. And that's what I did. And it really helped. Because it meant, for instance, that in my career's been up and down, and at times when I didn't have an art director, I could put my own ads together, I could make my book, I could represent my work, I could manipulate images, I could put ads together. I learned a lot about typography, I learned a lot about design, and it really stood me in good stead as my career progressed and I was responsible for more and more things within the creative department. It meant that I was more versatile and more flexible and, to be honest with you, more skilled, because it helped my writing too. Now, I don't think that AI now really presents any kind of different sort of challenge. It presents a different challenge in terms of speed and in terms of capacity and capability. But if you're a creative working in advertising, I've just got this one thing to say. Learn all about it. Learn everything you can. Get on top of it. Use it. Because as it progresses, it means that you are effectively going to be able to produce your work on your own, which is a fantastic situation for a creative to be in. And I'll tell you why. As AI proliferates material and content, and it will, at a accelerating speed, the content that will stand out and the content that will really matter is actually the really creative content. It's not the content that's going to be really kind of produced this way or that way or the other way. You'll be able to produce stuff any way you want. Yeah, okay, you're going to need some expertise, and however well you learn AI, there will always be stuff you don't know and you might need help. Fine. But it will mean that as a creative, you're able to provide a low-cost service to people and finished creative products. And because you're a creative, you have the opportunity to build them around ideas. And if you build stuff around ideas, they work better. So your stuff is going to be out there competing with all this rubbish and junk and AI claptrap that we're already seeing, that's garbage mostly. It's just heaps of images and piles of stuff lumped together. Well, you take what AI can do and you direct it and you create it and you make an idea from it, and you can do that at every single stage of the process, then you have a much better proposition to be able to go to a client or to an agency or just yourself and produce stuff that actually works, that will actually have an effect, that will actually sell stuff and that will make you money. And that's the way forward. That, I believe, is the way forward. So my message to young creatives who are struggling because their jobs are under threat from AI, don't worry about it. Learn it. Learn the thing that is threatening you. Learn the process. Learn the material. Get on top of it. You have the opportunity. You have the ideas. You have the stuff that people want. You have the stuff that will make stuff work. You have the creative ideas. If you can create the intellectual property and execute it to a reasonable standard and get it out there and make it work and make it effective and make it memorable, then you're onto a winner. Because actually, in the world that we're entering into, it's the person with the idea that will have the only competitive advantage.